Hello everyone, this is Adhyay Sari of class 9B and today I am going to talk all about natural vegetation and wildlife. I would like to thank my principal Sister Mary Rawat as well as our geography teacher Mrs. Madhu Sinha who gave us the golden opportunity to do this wonderful project on the topic natural vegetation and wildlife, which also helped me in doing a lot of research and I came to know about so many new things. I would also like to thank my parents and friends who helped me a lot in finishing this project within the limited time. I am making this project not only for marks but to also increase my knowledge. India being a vast country, we can imagine the types of bioforms available throughout the country. Our country, India, is one of the 12 mega biodiversity countries of the world. With about 47,000 plant species, India occupies 10th place in the world and 4th in Asia in plant diversity. There are about 15,000 flowering plants in India, which account for 6% in the world's total number of flowering plants. The country has many non-flowering plants as well, such as ferns, algae, and fungi. India also has approximately 90,000 species of animals as well as a rich variety of fish in its fresh and marine waters. Now, we are going to talk about natural vegetation. What is natural vegetation? Natural vegetation refers to a plant community which has grown naturally without human aid and has been left undisturbed by humans for a long time. This is also termed as virgin vegetation. Thus, cultivated crops, fruits, and flowers form a part of the vegetation but not natural vegetation. Now, we are going to talk about wildlife. What is wildlife? Wildlife traditionally referred to undomesticated animal species but has now come to include all organisms that grow or live wild in an area without being introduced by humans. These are some of the animals found in India. Now we are going to talk about flora. What is flora? Flora is used to denote plants of a particular region, period, etc. These are some types of flora. Now we are going to talk about fauna. What is fauna? Fauna is used to denote animals of a particular region or period or species. These are some of the fauna. The huge diversity of the flora and fauna kingdom is due to the following factors. The first factor is land. Land affects the natural vegetation directly and indirectly. We cannot expect the same type of vegetation in mountainous, plateau, and plain areas or in dry and wet regions. The nature of the land influences the type of vegetation. The fertile level is generally devoted to agriculture. The undulating and rough terrains are areas where grassland and woodlands develop and give shelter to a variety of wildlife. These are some of the type of land forms like volcano, hills, oceans, rivers, jungles, mountains, valleys, etc. The second factor is soil. The soil also varies over space. Different types of soil provide basis for different types of vegetation. The sandy soil of the desert support cactus and thorny bushes, while wet, marshy and deltaic soils support mangroves and deltaic vegetation. The hill slopes with some depth of soil have conical trees. These are some of the types of soil found in India. Some examples are sandy, silty, loamy, chalky, clayey, etc. The third factor is temperature. The character and the extent of vegetation are mainly determined by temperature along with the humidity in the air, precipitation and soil. On the slopes of the Himalayas and the hills of the peninsula above the height of 915 meters, the fall in the temperature affects the types of vegetation and its growth and changes it from tropical to subtropical temperate and alpine vegetation. The fourth factor is photoperiod or sunlight. The variation in the duration of sunlight at different places is due to the differences in latitude, altitude, longitude, seasons, and the duration of the day. Due to the longer duration of sunlight, trees grow faster in summers. The fifth and the last factor is precipitation. In India, almost the entire rainfall is brought in by the advancing southwest monsoon, which comes in June and ends in September, and retreating northeast monsoons. Areas of the heavy rainfall have more dense vegetation as compared to the areas of less rainfall. These are the types of precipitation. Have you ever thought as to why forests are important for human beings? Forests are renewable resources and play a major role in enhancing the quality of environment. They modify local climate, control soil erosion, regulate stream flow, support a variety of industries, provide livelihood for many communities, and offer a scenic view for recreation. They control wind force and temperature and cause rains. They provide humus to the soil and shelter to wildlife. India's natural vegetation has undergone many changes due to several factors, such as the growing demand for cultivated land, development of industries and mining, urbanization, and overgrazing of the pastures. There are different types of vegetation found in India. The major following types of vegetation may be identified in our country as: first one, the tropical evergreen forest; second, the tropical deciduous forest; third, montane forest; fourth, mangrove forest; and the fifth one being the tropical thorn forest. This is the map showing all the different types of forests with their locations in India. The first type of vegetation, or the tropical evergreen forest, is as follows. The tropical evergreen forests are dense, multi-layered, and harbor a variety of plants and animals. These forests are restricted to heavy rainfall areas of the Western Ghats and the island groups of Lakshadweep, Andaman and Nicobar, etc. They are at their best in areas having more than 200 centimeters of rainfall with a short dry season. The trees reach great heights up to 60 meters or even above. These forests are known as the evergreen forest because the trees which are found in these forests do not shed all their leaves at once. These are some of the evergreen forests. Some of the commercially important trees of this forest are ebony, mahogany, rosewood, and rubber. The common animals found in these forests are elephants, monkeys, lemur, and deer. Beside these animals, bats, sloth, scorpions, and snails are also found in these jungles. The second type of natural vegetation is the tropical deciduous forest. These are the most widespread forests in India. They are also called the monsoon forest and are spread over the region receiving rainfall between 200 cm and 70 cm. Trees of this forest shed their leaves for about 6 to 8 months in dry summer. On the basis of availability of water, these forests are further divided into moist and dry deciduous forests. The moist deciduous forests are found in areas receiving rainfall between 200 and 100 cm. These forests exist, therefore, mostly in the eastern part of the country, northeastern states, along the foothills of the Himalayas, Jharkhand, West Orissa and Chhattisgarh, and on the eastern slopes of the Western Ghats. The most dominant species of this forest is teak, bamboo, sal, shisham are other commercially important species. The second type of the tropical deciduous forests are the dry deciduous forest. These type of forests are found in areas having rainfall between 100 cm and 70 cm. These forests are found in the rainier parts of the peninsular plateau and plains of Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. These are open stretches in which teak, sal, peepal, and neem grow. In these forests, the common animals found are lion, tiger, pig, deer, and elephant. A huge variety of different animals are also found here, like snakes and tortoise. The third type of natural vegetation is the thorn forest. The thorn forests are found in regions with rainfall less than 70 cm. This type of vegetation is found in the northwest part of the country, including semi-arid areas of Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Uttar Pradesh, and Haryana. The trees of these forests are scattered and have long roots penetrating deep into the soil in order to get moisture. The stems are succulent to conserve water. Leaves are mostly thick and small to minimize evaporation. These forests give way to thorn forest and scrubs in arid areas. The most common trees found in these areas are acacias, palms, euphorbias, and cacti. The common animals found in these regions are rabbits, fox, camel, and horses. The fourth type of natural vegetation is the montane forest. In mountainous areas, the decrease in the temperature with increasing altitude leads to the corresponding change in natural vegetation. As such, there is a succession of natural vegetation belts in the same order as we see from the tropical to the tundra region. On the basis of altitude, the montane forests are divided into main three types. First, the wet temperate type of forest, second, the temperate forest, and the third, the alpine forest. The first type of montane forest is the wet temperate type of forest, which are found between a height of 1000 and 2000 meters. Evergreen broadleaf trees such as oaks and chestnut are found here. The second type of montane forest is known as the temperate forest. It is found between the height of 1500 to 3000 meters. It contains coniferous trees like pine and deodar, etc. The temperate forests cover mostly the southern slopes of the Himalayas, places having high altitude in southern and northeast India. At higher elevations, temperate grasslands are common. At even higher altitudes, generally more than 3600 meters above the sea level, temperate forests and grasslands give way to the alpine vegetation or alpine forests. Some of the common trees found in these forests are pine and birches, etc. However, the alpine forests progressively are stunned as they approach the snowline. Ultimately, through shrubs and scrubs, they merge into alpine grasslands. These are used extensively for grazing by the nomadic tribes like the Gujars and the Bakarwals. At higher altitude, mosses and lichens form part of the tundra vegetation. The common animals found in the montane forest are yaks and spotted deer, etc. The fifth and the last type of the natural vegetation are the mangrove forest. The mangrove tidal forests are found in the areas of the coast influenced by tides. Mud and silt get accumulated on such coasts. Dense mangroves are the common varieties with roots of the plants submerged under water. The deltas of the Ganga, the Mahanadi, the Krishna, the Godavari, and the Kaveri are covered by such vegetation. In the Ganga Brahmaputra delta, Sundari trees are found which provide durable, hard timber. Palm tree and coconut tree also grow in some of the parts of the delta. The Royal Bengal tiger is the famous animals of the mangrove forest. Turtles and crocodiles are also found in these forests. Now we are going to talk about wildlife. Like its flora, India is also rich in its fauna. It has approximately 90,000 animal species. The country has about 2,000 species of birds like they constitute 13% of the world's total. There are 2,546 species of fishes like these account for nearly 12% of the world's stock. It also shares between 5 and 8% of the world's amphibians and reptiles. Now I am going to tell you about national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. A national park or a wildlife sanctuary is a protected area of importance for flora and fauna. A national park or a wildlife sanctuary is a place dedicated for the purpose of conservation, recreation, and protection. Most national parks or wildlife sanctuaries have similar aims to conserve wildlife in order to protect it for the future as well as allow people the chance to enjoy it. National parks or wildlife sanctuaries are often a symbol of national pride. The benefits of these are national parks or wildlife sanctuaries help protect wildlife. They also help to protect the landscapes. They help to preserve the history in the form of the buildings, etc. This is a map showing different wildlife sanctuaries, bird sanctuaries, and national parks. For example, in the north, there is Rajaji National Park and Corbett. In the west, we have Gir and Ranthambore. In the south, we have Bandipur and Mudumalai. And in the east, we have Kaziranga and Manas. At the end, I would just like to say that each person should make some effort and spread awareness among the people for the conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife. We can do this by reducing deforestation and planting more and more trees, and also by not killing animals and cutting the trees for our own sake or benefit. By following some simple steps, we can make our planet Earth a better place to live. Thank you.